First of all, thank you so much for all your enthusiastic responses. It means a lot to me, and I was very happy to see such a positive feedback to these sharings, and I'm very happy that we can continue and do this together. So we will be reading today from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 1. I will be reading from my personal favorite when it comes to the translations of Bhagavad Gita. It is the one done by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And we will always start by reading the verse in Sanskrit. Sanskrit is known as Devanagari, the language of gods, and as such, he's completely different from all the languages that we know and speak today. And even if we don't understand it, simply hearing its sound vibration has a major impact on our consciousness. So we will use this opportunity to recite and to hear Sanskrit and to have this uplifting influence on our lives. Verse number 1. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Udvamulamadaşakam Ashvatam Prahuravyayam Chandam Siyasya Panani Yastam Veda Savedavit. Translation. Shri Bhagavan, Purushottam, actually the speaker of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, said, "It is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas." So already here in the first verse, we have very exciting picture being presented to us. It's a huge tree. I don't know if you have ever seen a banyan tree. They grow really large, and they have these offshoots that grow from the trunk and from the branches back into the earth, and then they make new roots, and at the end you don't know anymore what is a root, what is a branch. They grow, the branches get very much entangled, so it looks very complex. And what we see here, it's not only that huge tree, but it's growing upside down. It's really an impactful picture for us to remember. And it's an imperishable, meaning indestructible tree. We can't just remove it if we don't want it anyway. What we hear from the previous teachers is that the roots of this tree presented to us here are to be situated at the topmost planet in this universe where Lord Brahma is. And the branches represent many different planets in this universe. And the leaves are the Vedic hymns that are there for us to use and to study. And then we have the fruits of the tree, which represent actually the results of the activities that we perform and that we are constantly tasting and experiencing, both bitter and sweet. We hear that this tree is only a reflection, and it's used as an analogy to describe this world. And if we know that it's a reflection, then we can easily find something very similar to it in this world, and then draw some conclusions based on observing what we have here. So what we can see here, it's, for example, next to a lake, if there is a tree growing, it will reflect on the surface of the water. So simply by observing that reflection, we can draw some conclusions. And what we also hear from different teachers is that similarly as the reflection of the tree that we see here is resting upon water, similarly this tree described here in Bhagavad Gita is resting upon something. It's resting upon the desires of the living entities, which is a very profound point that we can elaborate upon and really think further. But let's go back to our tree again. So let's go and observe the reflection of the tree on the surface of the water. First of all, it's not a real thing. It's just a replica, a reflection. Second, it's upside down. It's a perverted picture of reality. And third, it's ever changing, it's ever moving. You just need one very light breeze and the surface of the water will move, and that picture won't look the same anymore. So it's not something that we can rely upon, not something that we can depend upon, nothing steady, stable. So another very interesting commentary that I found is commentary given by a well-known philosopher from previous ages, whose name is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and he looks into the word that is used for banyan here, ashvata, and he uses a simple method that can be used in Sanskrit when you actually separate the word in the parts from which it is combined, and then you can derive completely new meaning from it, apart from the fact that Sanskrit being such rich and complex language, many words have many meanings, 30, 40 meanings, it's possible. So what he did here, we have this word ashvata being used for banyan, and it's combined from three parts, a, shva, ta. Shva means tomorrow. A in Sanskrit is used as a prefix that is negating the word that is come after it. So ashva means not tomorrow, and ta is actually coming from sta. Here it's being modified due to grammatical reasons, and sta means to stay. So when we have that in mind, then ashvata means that they will not stay here tomorrow. They will not be here tomorrow. In other words, again, it's changing. It's so unreliable, unsteady. And that would be that amazing picture being presented to us in the first verse. The beauty, when we continue our studies further, the beauty is that we don't hear only more about this particular analogy. We also hear more how to access and how to reach that place that is steady, that is reliable, the place, the safe harbor that is protected and sheltered from all the storms and all the winds of changes. And from that place we can live more fully, we can live more freely, and we can make more conscious choices in our lives. So I'm very much looking forward to continue and to go towards this kind of knowledge, because actually this banyan tree that is described here, representing the world that we live in, that can be often very confusing and limiting, we can actually live much happier and fuller if we understand the true nature of the world, if we understand what it is and how it moves, how it functions. And that is the knowledge that we can obtain from the wisdom literature such as Bhagavad Gita. So I thank you very, very much for your time, for your attention, and hope to see you tomorrow.